Yes, a restaurant.
A restaurant. It's a...
You're a waiter at the restaurant.
You're a waiter at the restaurant, yeah.
You're a waiter. Okay, and you go to the table and you see...
Jerry Seinfeld. I meant Seinfeld,
and
sorry.
Jerry and Seinfeld is wearing a big old hat.
And his hat is shaped somehow like a penis with a plunger on top of it.
And the waiter is a gay fella, and he mistakes his hat for a penis.
So he jumps on it and rams it up his ass. Penis.
Hey, we got there in the end. We did it.
You ask Jerry Seinfeld, hey, what's with the hat? And he says...
What's the deal with airliner food? Right, well, we've ran this into the ground. Good day, gentlemen.
A new scenario, I guess? New scenario?
A grocery store.
Grocery store. You work there? You're a customer?
Sure, yeah, I work there.
You work there?
Yeah.
And this is Friday. And you have half an hour left before done.
I can't wait to get home. I can't wait to get home, and then a fella comes in, and he's wearing this big old hat. He looks quite like Jerry Seinfeld, actually.
And he's got a girl with him whose name is Tuesday. And Tuesday walks up to you and she's like,
Sir, can you help me with something? There's something I need that I can't find in your store.
It's
you see my boyfriend's hat? I'd like a matching one. Do you sell them?
And you're like at a grocery store?
It just so happens that we have some in our stockroom. Let me take you back there so we can get some more. Then you go to the stockroom and then she hits you in the head and then you pass out. But then you wake up and you're trapped in a room. And then...
You see a Chinese gangster stuffing your stomach full of drugs. He wants to sneak over the border.
You got a bag full of drugs stuffed in your stomach and you cross the border to smuggle the drugs with this Chinese gangster. And Tuesday is accompanying you, but you realize she's an absolute cold-eyed killer. She actually kills a cop on the way. So you're at the border and the police come up to you and they're like, hey there, son, can I help you with something? And then you say...
You ever seen the film Lucy? It's like the film Lucy. And then the policeman goes, oh, I've never seen Lucy. And you go, oh, it doesn't matter then.
No one has seen Lucy.
I saw Lucy. And it could have been worse. Did you know we only use 10% of our brain? Anyway, back to the topic. Yeah, Tuesday then grabs
20 if you count downstairs.
The policeman's baton.
And she hits the policeman with it, but this alerts the other policeman. So you use this as a chance to escape.
Shut your face, George. This is comedy gold.
And then you run into a wolf.
Shut the fuck up.
Who talks and says, come follow me deeper into the desert. And
then you realize you're shitting yourself and you're shitting out the drugs that you're trying to smuggle. And you're like, oh shit. I have to go back and pick up my shit because there's drugs in it.
And then here you are in the middle of a desert with no water, picking up drugs from all the way. You're mixing the sand and the drugs. It's a horrible mess.
And the talking wolf, whose name is Santina, says, don't worry about the drugs. They will not find it. Just follow me into my cave. And then he takes you to his cave, and then...
My wife died many years ago, woof woof. I've been searching for a new mate. Would you be so kind?
And then you say, yeah, listen, that sounds like a good offer and everything, but first of all, my butthole is sore because I've pooped out a lot of drugs, and I'm not really into wolf, really. And then the wolf gets kind of mad, and he looks at you, and he says,
don't be such a racist whore. That is, oh, I hate it with you kind of people, he says.
Hey everyone, how it going tonight?
Good.
We were doing
I'm gonna tell you a couple jokes here. Okay? Just a few little quick punchline jokes.
He's ruined it. He's ruined the wolf.
Are you reading?
You're ruining the story.
You're ruining the story.
What?
Get off the stage. You've ruined the story.
Continue the improv.
Oh God, I'm sorry.
You were about to have sex with the wolf.
And then I missed the last couple points, but I'm gonna pretend I listened to them. And then the wolf is like, "Oh, get that plunger, and get those drugs, and we'll stick the drugs back up inside you with the plunger, like the reverse toilet."
you realize that Santino the wolf is in fact the rival gang of the Chinese dude who stuffed them in your butt originally.
So then you grab the plunger, the drugs, and the poop that still has drugs in it, and you run out the cave, and
then you run into another man whose name is Jerry. And you tell Jerry, listen, dude, I need a ride. There's a wolf called Santino who's after me, and he wants me to stuff drugs up my butt. Jerry's confused, but he lets you ride. He gives you a ride, and then he takes you to the nearest gas station, and then
Jerry inquires about buying a new hat similar to the one he's currently wearing.
And it just so happens that the hat Jerry needs is in the stock room. So you tell Jerry, hey, Jerry, make it in the stock room. All right, I think we came full circle with this room.
We came
right,
complete full. That was brilliant. Hey, let's have a round of applause.
And then you and Jerry go into the
new one.
Oh, the new one. Okay, sorry. New one. Okay, here we go. I'm sorry, here we go.
It's okay.
All right, so once upon a time, there was... Sorry. Once upon a time, there was a handicapped family.
Oh, really? All of them? They must not have got much done. And they never went on holiday because they couldn't figure out anything. They were pretty useless, actually. They went to church to pray to thank God for making them all disabled, and then when they were at church one Sunday...
But before going to church, they needed to eat. So one of the handicapped sons would start making eggs, and then when the other walked in and asked what they were doing, he looked over and said, "Breakfast!"
Now, we're cut back to them at church. The priest walks over, says, "Hello, the handicapped family of America." They're in America. They're like that, you know, like the Kardashians, but all handicapped.
Oh.
Right. The priest walks over to them.
And then smacks him on the ass and says, you, my boy, have devil inside you. I need to find a way to get it out. And the only way to get the devil outside of a handicapped person is sticking the holy rod into the deepest, darkest spot of the body, your anus.
Oh, jeez.
He then gets the rod and douses it in holy water. He bends each and every one of the handicapped family over. He says, one at a time, youngest to oldest.
And now that the handicapped family is all purified from the devil that lives inside them, they are no longer handicapped. They are just a regular family from America. Remember, because they're from America.
Yes, remember that.
Wow.
And then they all go out to eat at their favorite restaurant.
Called the Plunger Room.
And then, but before they're walking to this restaurant, they cross the road and get hit by a truck. And they're back to being handicapped.
And now they all like ride in wheelchairs together, and they have Bluetooth speakers that keep like song "They See Me Rolling," they hating, and they're rolling together like Hell's Angels kind of shit. But like their motorized scooters don't go that fast.
So they all make their way to the racetrack.
And then they see Lewis Hamilton and go, "I bet we can beat you, Mr. Lewis Hamilton." And Lewis Hamilton goes, "I bet I can beat you in my F1 car."
And then the handicapped family brings out the plungers, and they attach the plungers to the F1 car, and
the F1 car flips over, and then flips over again, and flips over again into a ball of fire, and then the guy we were talking about earlier is dead. And then they meet the guy from Top Gear, and Top Gear's
Clarkson.
like, yo. Top Gear guys are like, yo, your scooters are so fast, we have to try them out.
Richard Hammond goes straight into a wall. Now he's disabled now.
Yep.
The other two are fine.
So this crippled family and Richard Hammond all go back to the church to seek help.
And the priest says, there's no refunds or returns here, buddy.
And then it turns out it was all a dream, and that's the end of the story.
We'll just cut him out of the DVD.
Okay, I guess we're starting a new one?
Yeah, let's start a new.
Ended the story there.
Yeah, They're in a space bar. A bar in space.
A bar in space.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
A bar in space. A bar in space. The very first bar in space, and it's called.
No, it's the second one.
Oh.
It's the second ever bar in space.
It's Mars. Okay. So you walk in, and you see this alien thing.
And this alien goes, "What's up, guys? I'm an alien. To you at least. Would you like to try our delicious alien juice?"
And then you try it and you die.
And then you don't die, because in Mars, people don't die, apparently.
That's brilliant,
So,
yeah.
you
Retconning.
hear...
But actually, you do die, and you're taken to Space Hospital. Suddenly, I don't know.
And in Space Hospital, you see a man, an alien man, and he walks up to you and he goes, "Hello, good sir. Would you like to try some of my alien juice?"
You drink the alien juice, but this one is actually bone-hurting juice. And then you say, "Oof, ow, my bones."
So then the doctor at the hospital brings out a plunger, and
it turns out this doctor holding the plunger is he's Jerry Seinfeld.
And then you wake up because it turns out it was a dream. The end.
But wait, you wake up from that second dream inside of your dream, and suddenly you're not in space. You're at a regular bog standard NHS hospital, near death.
And the doctor goes, "Now I'm no alien doctor, so I can't offer you any juice. This is a regular hospital in the NHS." He says, "We're crippled on funding, you're going to die."
And then you do die, and that's the end of the story.
Can we do a new one now?
A new one. Do a new one.
yeah. Okay, we can do a new one. Anybody got any?
Okay, we're in Britbangistan. The Muslims have took over, and it's 20 years into the future.
Oh,
Oh my God, that's great.
Okay.
That's
The
quite
Okay.
He's
dark.
been in office for 20 years.
Sadiq Khan is
continue
PM.
That one.
Sadiq Khan was in office, and turns out that London has been taken over by Muslims, and everyone's eating halal meat, and it's all calm. It's funny, I'm Muslim, so I'm gonna smash this one.
And you won't believe this, but the problem is with Sadiq Khan's heaven that he's made on Earth is that every single bit of the funding for his country has been spent on wasted garden bridges. Every single £1 million he's wasted on building a garden bridge.
There's garden bridges in the Great British Bake Off.
And in this Muslim area, there's discussion about whether or not they should have the call to prayer out loud on loudspeakers.
Through Big Ben.
And the decision, and the decision ultimately was.
Yes, and then he changed it to Massive Mohammed.
What?
And then you see Tuesday, that girl that you met, like, way back.
Is she with the wolf?
And astaghfirullah, because that's haram, because you're not allowed to talk to girls.
So then you're killed. The end.
No, but then you see a woman driving a car, and oh no, the thought police comes round the corner and she gets arrested, as well as you for associating with such haram woman.
But to be fair, it's a good job they did catch the only woman driving in Britain, because she was terrible. She crashed into at least 12 people before they caught her.
She was then arrested.
Rightfully so.
And then so you're talking to this girl Tuesday, and the police come up to you to explain how that's wrong. And then
You notice the police officer talking to you is actually Officer Thursday.
And then people around you like, what's that? In the sky, is it a bird? Is it a plane? And it turns out it's Nigel Farage in a superhero costume coming to save the day.
And he says, "You dirty Muslims haven't taken over our country."
And And then it turns out that Massive Mohammed is actually a nuclear missile.
And then Massive Mohammed turns into this nuclear missile robot, and Nigel Farage is forced to take some pills that make him 100 feet tall, and they fight it to the death.
And they have a plunger.
Yeah.
Every good
that was
story needs an unlikely hero. Merkel turns out to be a robot who self-destructs and the world blows up. The end.
Yay.
That was great.
Another
Where's
one.
the film? Where's the
Right?
film?
Encore.
Encore!
Anybody got a new one? Let's start a new one. First day of presidency in the United States. Holy shit.
That is
okay,
brilliant.
Let's go.
So then you just go out and straight up ban trannies.